contract year for him too, so he's definitely incentivized to.
I definitely, with a couple of tight ends, Theo Johnson coming back healthy, Malik Neighbors obviously, and Darius Slayton coming back with Russell Wilson. It's because we know Russ throws the ball on time. That should help. I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson's there as a yak guy, so get him out there in space, lead him to the ball. Let him run and catch the ball in stride. Let him get those extra yards instead of having to turn around or sit there and wait for the ball while the defender's, bearing down on you, causing incompletions or tackling you right away and not getting any yards after the catch. So the quarterback is going to make a big difference on every offensive player on this team this year. I don't think there's any question about it. Russell Wilson will make a big difference. He will make everybody on that side of the ball better. Maybe it's just because I'm a Russ stan. I don't know. But I do feel like that's going to happen.
I mean, I'll add to that. I know we've got the super chat to get to, but I said this on the Bleach Report live stream I just did at 6. When you're looking at the jump from bad quarterback to average, the jump from an average quarterback to a slightly above average quarterback or even an above average quarterback is not that great. But when you go from bad to average, the way you need to look at it is a bad quarterback has so many different flaws. Let's say not on time, inaccurate, poor pocket presence, doesn't read the field well, pre-snap problems, can't identify blitzers, all of those problems in a bad quarterback. And when you get to average, you eliminate probably half of those flaws. And when you get to above average, you probably eliminate maybe 1 or 2 more, which is why the jump isn't as great. But if you think about how all of those flaws for a bad quarterback amalgamate and what they do to an offense, it's toxic waste. It just completely sinks the ship, basically. But when you get to average, you eliminate some of those flaws will remain. But getting rid of half of that baggage, that's why it is such a big jump to go from like league worst quarterback play like the Giants had last year just to average will make an overnight monumental difference, which is why I'm remaining so optimistic about this Giants team, because I think they're improving on being on time. Their deep accuracy is definitely improving. Their pre-snap stuff is definitely improving. So you're getting rid of a lot of that toxic waste. And as a result, you're going to see a lot of these players take a step forward. And ultimately, this offense really doesn't have an excuse. It should at least be average this season. And they were average in 2022 on offense, and they were probably top 10 to 15 on defense in 2022. If they can replicate that again, I trust Brian Daboll to get us back to the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's a great point. You mentioned, I don't know if it was last week or a couple of shows ago, Russ likes to throw the deep ball. He threw a bunch of balls over 20 yards last year, and Malik Neighbors did not have one bomb, one long touchdown. Well, this year you're going to get that. At some point, you would think they're going to at least take some shots to Malik Neighbors on the field. And because Russ continues to tout for Jalin Hyatt, like he just really likes Jalin Hyatt. And again, I don't expect Jalin Hyatt to come in here and make an impact, and he's going to have to battle for a spot. There's no guarantee he makes the team. But again, Jalin Hyatt is that guy who is strictly just a burn. I always just compare him to the guy like Deshaun Jackson was never, I never thought Deshaun Jackson was an elite guy, but Deshaun Jackson was a guy that was going to might catch 2 passes the whole game, but it'd be for like 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. That could be what Jalin Hyatt brings you, is just maybe it's just one deep ball game. Don't even need to be a touchdown. Maybe it's just a 50-yard pass. Like, was it the second half against Arizona a couple of years ago when he had a couple of big bombs?
Yeah.
Maybe that's all it takes. It just, that type of thing loosens up the defense, whereas opposed to everything's just underneath and you can just play 7 guys in a blanket and know, well, we're not really have to worry about him going over our head because they don't throw the ball that deep. They don't ever throw the ball deep, or he doesn't have time to throw the ball deep, or whatever the situation is. They're not stretching the field, so we can just play underneath coverage the whole time. We ain't got to worry about these guys making a big play getting behind us. So we can just gang tackle these guys, and we can just play up and just, play tight and make 3-yard passes. So tough. Because, Anthony, I'm telling you, man, when I do watch football, I see these guys all the time, 3rd down and 8. It's a quick slant for 11 yards. I'm like, why can't we do that? Well, this looks so easy. A 3-yard post us is like a root canal. It's like pulling teeth. We can't do anything. So the quarterback play is going to be, it's much improved. The quarterback room is much improved, and that should much improve the Giants offense as well. Of course,
absolutely.
Health is important to that in front too. Andrew Thomas got stale. We probably should say that every stream until the freaking year starts. Guys got to stay healthy. Thomas needs to be healthy. Tutto, grazie, Paisano. He says, salutes and respects to Paisani, Bad Dog, and Big Tony, and all Dire Giants fans across the pond. Greetings from our Italian national rugby team in Italy. Tutto, and then he doubles up. And they have to have Italian. I don't speak Italian. No parlo Italiano.
Tony, congratulations for your something and for the good presentation, well deserved. The Sonolini, I think, it's definitely something that has to do with Napoli. So thank you, Tuto. I know you're not happy with the outcome, but I am overjoyed. I mean, so Bad Dog, to put it in the perspective, Napoli is a team, they kind of like always hang around being one of the best in the league. That's been the case for the last 3 decades. Back in the 80s, they had a player named Diego Maradona, an Argentinian. He was the best player in the world at the time, and he won 2 championships for Napoli, their first and only 2 for the following 30 years. But then over the last 3 years, we've